Hey, Maha.
Hey, Joey.
I love your background. Are those tomatoes?
Yes, they're cherry tomatoes.
May I try one?
Sure thing.
That is great. I would love to use in my pasta tonight.
Now, don't you wish it was that easy to taste food over the internet? Hello, my name is Maha Eldabaja, and I'm with Albertsons. And it is my honor and privilege to introduce you to our team, Tasting Tomorrow. Combined, we have over 82 years of experience in food retail and CPG industry. Now, let me introduce you to the creatives. Nathan Elzinga with Gelson's, Joey Castagnon with Bristol Farms, Jesse Mullen with Cub Foods, Taylor Nations with Ecos, and Adriana Castro with Niagara. Our team came up with this crazy idea of digital tasting. Now imagine a world where you can taste food digitally through your phone. You can taste your next birthday cake, you can taste the newest soda flavor, and you can even taste the newest cotton candy grapes. Yes, imagine walking through the store and tasting every product without opening a single package. Now you're probably thinking, this sounds like something out of the cartoons The Jetsons. But today, we're taking you on a journey, and we're asking for you to recognize the impact of this technology and that the search does not stop here. Our crazy idea started with a simple online search, and we discovered many technologies that are going to revolutionize the food industry. But one that got us excited was digital tasting. We want to excite you like we got excited about the future of tasting technology and the world of disruptive technologies. Remember Blockbuster? In a world of Blockbuster, we want you to be Netflix. In a world of yellow cabs, we want you to be Uber. It is our hope to inspire you to continue looking into technology and continuing the search of future disruptive innovations. Now let's get started. What is food? Yes, food's nutrition, its health, its calories. But what is it to our consumer? It's flavor. Yet we continue to force our consumers to use their other senses to make purchasing decisions. What if we can digitally stimulate taste to enhance the consumer's experience and reduce waste along the supply chain, increase efficiency in R&D, drive up sales, and allow for lower sampling costs? Digital tasting technology is real and it is coming, but technology means nothing without the emotional connection to our consumers.
You are absolutely correct, Maha. Let's talk about our consumer senses. I'm here to tell you why taste and smell are the most powerful of our senses. Smell is the only sense that is connected directly to the amygdala and the hippocampus. These are the parts of our brain where we process our long-term memories and we store our emotions. But Maha was just telling about flavor. And what is flavor? Well, flavor is the combination of that powerful smell with taste. Let me give you an example. If you eat a jelly bean, but you close your nose, your tongue can taste the sweet, the sour, the salty, but only when you open your nose is when you know that the jelly bean was a strawberry flavor or apple pie flavor. And that apple pie flavor can trigger a vivid emotion from 20 years ago from your grandma's apple pie. So we learned that food is flavor and that flavor is the combination of taste and smell. So let's take this back to our industry. Why are we depriving our customers their sensory experience while shopping? Let's get into this. Imagine a customer shopping in a store. They walk in one of the aisles and they use their sight to look at the products, right? They can see the brand, the colors on the package, they can see the nutritional information, they can touch the product, right? They can grab it, they can feel the weight, the consistency of it. They can probably hear the announcements on the store about the sales or the items that are on sale. And to a limited extent, they can smell. For example, if they walk through the bakery and they are just baking bread, they'll feel drawn to buy it. But but bread is 1 out of 10 of thousands SKUs that our supermarkets carry. So it's very, very limited. And if we talk about online shopping, it's even more limited. The customer only has access to the screen to see the product. So this is where our crazy idea that Maha was talking about came to play. We believe that with digital tasting, we can integrate taste and smell into the customer shopping experience online and in store. But I'm going to allow Ben and Maria to introduce this concept for you.
Meet Maria and Ben, two average millennials shopping for groceries. Maria is having her family over for dinner tonight, so she's shopping for ingredients to make her famous lasagna. Maria likes going to her local supermarket to shop for ingredients in person. Ben, Maria's cousin, is in charge of bringing dessert for the family dinner tonight. Unlike Maria, he prefers the convenience of shopping online. Maria arrives at the grocery store and is walking down aisle 4 looking for the best ingredients for her lasagna. She notices that there is a new organic pasta sauce that costs $1 more than the one she typically buys. She's not sure if the flavor of the pasta sauce is worth the extra $1 and really wishes she could taste it before buying. Meanwhile, Ben is at home getting ready for Maria's dinner party and browsing on his phone for the right ice cream. There are 4 flavors offered on the website: vanilla, strawberry, mint, and mango. He's unsure which flavor to pick and really wishes there was a way to taste a sample before he buys. What if we told Ben and Maria that there is a technology that would allow them to digitally taste their items before they buy? Introducing Tasting Tomorrow. Now, with Tasting Tomorrow, Maria can use digital tasting technology to sample an item still on the shelf instead of wasting money on a product she's unsure about. She simply scans the QR code on the label and enters the Tasting Tomorrow app, reviews the multiple pasta sauce options, including the new organic sauce, and tastes them with this exciting new technology. She finds out the flavor of the new sauce is significantly better than what she normally buys and is in fact worth the extra $1. Maria is now ready to buy with a newfound sense of confidence. She is a happy customer because she knows her famous lasagna just got even better. The flavor of this new sauce will take her lasagna from famous to legendary. Remember Cousin Ben shopping for ice cream online? With Tasting Tomorrow, he also has the ability to try the multiple flavors offered in the online grocery store before he chooses which one to bring to Maria's dinner party. Ben logs on to the store's website and starts tasting the flavors. Usually, his favorite is mango, but he's never tried this specific brand, so he samples the mango with the Tasting Tomorrow app and finds it to be a little sour. It turns out the best flavor of this brand is strawberry, so he confidently chooses strawberry ice cream as his dessert, already knowing that he loves the flavor. Maria's party was a success. Every guest complimented the lasagna, and they all went wild for the strawberry ice cream. Thanks, Tasting Tomorrow.
Now, after watching that, you might be thinking that Ben and Maria are living in a fantasy world, but it's not fantasy. It's the future. As early as 2011, we see the first digital tasting devices in development. And the way that these devices worked is that you'd actually place your tongue on a small piece of metal, and the device would electrically stimulate your tongue with a painless electrical current to give you the sensation that you're tasting sweet or salty or sour without actually putting any food in your mouth. Now, I'd imagine that none of you out there have had the opportunity to use a digital tasting device, but I would bet that you've all experienced the benefits that added fragrance can have on an environment. I personally have a very vivid memory of over a decade ago going to the Soaring Over California ride and smelling the orange groves as you dip down in the citrus fields. And that just shows you what a lasting and powerful impact scent can have on memory and emotion. And in 2013, we see the first customizable scent device in the form of the Scenty. The Scenty was a small device that you plug into your smartphone, and through the use of an app, you can customize the fragrance released through the device. Now, what Maha and Adriana taught us is that food is flavor, but that flavor comes from the marriage of taste and smell. So it's in 2017 that we see the first true complex flavor tasting device, that being with the digital cocktail or Boktail. Now in the image, you can see the gentleman using the Boktail is drinking from a portion of the glass with a small piece of metal, painlessly stimulating his tongue just like the devices did in 2011. And across the glass, there's a small scent device. And using the Boktail app, he can customize the fragrance being emitted by that device. Now imagine going to a bar and ordering a Manhattan, and maybe it's just not sweet enough. If you had the digital cocktail, you could virtually dial up the sweetness of your cocktail without adding any extra ingredients, ensuring that you get the perfect cocktail every single time. But that's tasting in 2017. We're here to tell you what it's like to taste tomorrow. We fully envision a world where you can just use your smartphone and walk through the store, scanning each item and tasting it on the spot without opening a single package. Or imagine scrolling through an e-commerce site and clicking the item you'd like to try, or perhaps even combination of items. Now, the biggest question we've got since we've been developing this presentation is what exactly will this technology look like? And we'll be the first to tell you we're not 100% sure. Perhaps it will be in the form of a small 3D printer that plugs into your phone, similar to the Senti device, and actually prints the flavor on a small dissolvable strip you place in your mouth. Or perhaps it's through the form of a stylus that you pull from your phone, touch with your tongue, and then reinsert into your phone to be sanitized between each use. The fact of the matter is, we're not 100% sure what it will look like, but we are sure that it's coming and that it's going to have a huge impact on our industry. And those impacts will be felt all along the supply chain, starting before the product even hits the shelf, that being in the flavor research and development process. The current flavor R&D process is extremely inefficient and costly. Digital tasting will improve this process significantly. But the benefits don't stop there. Retailers will have huge sales increases through sampling efforts, as well as lowering the costs of those sampling programs significantly. And obviously, the benefits to the consumer are numerous. You're getting a full immersive sensory experience when you shop in person or online. And of course, like I mentioned, expanding the opportunity to sampling is something we all love.
Agree, Taylor. We all love sampling. Some customers go to stores like Costco just for all the samples and end up hanging out with the demo person until their lunch is over. Whether you're a customer or a business, we know that there are many perceived benefits to sampling, but is it actually good for the bottom line? Let's talk numbers. How can this impact both retailers and CPGs? We know that in-store sampling is an essential way to enhance the customer shopping experience, but in-store sampling is just the beginning. In our world today, creating in-store experiences for our shoppers has become a crucial part of operating. And in-store sampling, as we know it today, is lacking when it comes to the utilization of shopper senses. With in-store sampling today, we see between 10 to 15% long-term increases in that items category, and a large part of our customers will take a sample if it is available. Digital tasting technology, at a minimum, will drive sales that traditional in-store sampling does, and because of the widened selection, the store will increase sales across every category in the store. One survey showed that one demo with 354 customers that saw the sample, 73% took the sample and 28% made the purchase after sampling that item. For online shopping, we currently do not have the ability to sample as this channel continues to grow. In 2020, the pandemic drove online sales by 44%. With digital tasting technology, we have the ability to sample to our online shoppers. Digital tasting will drive sales of sample items by 15% in-store and online. Imagine all the possibilities this could bring. For example, imagine your consumers are watching the Super Bowl with all their friends and a funny chip commercial comes on with an exciting new flavor. At the end, a QR code pops up to try this new flavor with this technology. Everyone can scan the QR code, and over 100 million people are not only seeing your product, but they're tasting your product and are immediately able to try your new flavor. And if they love it, they can click it and have your stores deliver it to them before the second quarter. So now we know that the sampling benefits sales. Let's look at the cost behind sampling. The current cost of sampling can be anywhere from $320 to $350 per demo. In a recent survey, $2.2 billion were spent on sampling each year. The sampling cost of one item, 3 days a week, with a company that has around 2,200 stores, is around $118 million each year. If you were to sample everything in your store, this could cost up to $7 trillion. Digital tasting allows sampling every product in your store and online for a fraction of the cost.
And the impact to retailers is undeniable, but this technology will have an impact earlier in the supply chain before the product even gets to the retailers. This will increase efficiencies for CPG companies by cutting down time for new flavor development. When we hone in on the R&D process for new flavor development, we look to McCormick. According to their flavor development team, for them to develop a spice like steak seasoning, for example, they can start with up to 500 different ingredients, and this eventually gets whittled down to around 24, but in a 2-year time frame. Now, I've spent years working in the meat department, and when I would pick up a McCormick steak seasoning for a customer, I had no idea it would take 2 years for that flavor to be developed. Just look at the flow chart and see how many different people are involved in producing a single flavor. Imagine the time and cost behind passing a sample around for each one of these people to try. With digital tasting technology, this can be done in real time without the need for a physical sample after every adjustment. Instead of producing each ingredient for every sample, those involved can use their app to taste each flavor and give their immediate feedback instead of going back to the drawing board every time. The feedback received would be quantifiable and exact instead of the unnecessarily slow process we have right now. This will increase efficiencies across the board. Technology is developing rapidly, and AI alone is expected to cut this time and cost down by 70%. And digital tasting technology is a crucial part of this. Digital tasting technology will increase efficiencies in R&D. And to go back over these points, we've looked at the drastic impact this technology will have across the supply chain. We honed in on both the retail sector and the CPG sector. For retailers, through having a store's entire product line available to sample, we will see up to a 15% increase in sales across each category, and this is just the beginning. When we analyzed the cost behind sampling, we saw the current process as a long-term variable cost spread over an indefinite period of time just for one item. This technology will shift this one-time fixed cost for the retailer to pay down over time. When we looked at the impact for CPG companies, we saw our current abhorrent 2-year time it takes to develop a single flavor, and we saw how this technology will increase efficiencies.
Today, our friends Ben and Maria helped us identify the need to maintain positive customer experience for our consumers who shop online, while also finding ways to bring them back into the store. The pandemic is a digital tipping point for our industry, and the future belongs to those that can efficiently offer and deliver innovative products and services that solve fundamental human needs across all channels. New technologies such as digital tasting confronts us with questions regarding what food really is, and perhaps more importantly, our role in it all. What consumers want in food is flavor, and the combination of taste and smell creates positive, memorable experiences. By digitizing taste, we create an opportunity to increase sales by providing samples to all our consumers for every item we carry. Additionally, it will reduce waste, cut costs, and improve efficiencies all along the supply chain. Will digital tasting technology forever change our industry? Only time will tell. But as FIM students, we were challenged to address critical strategic issues challenging the food industry. As we researched, we uncovered many opportunities that could be addressed through cutting-edge technologies. Waste, convenience, supply chain optimization can and will be solved using technologies such as AI, virtual reality, and consumer data. Our team uncovered a technology in the early stages of commercial application research, but should someone in our industry incorporate this new emerging technology, they would be able to separate themselves from the competition. Digital tasting has the potential not to just change the shopping experience, but also revolutionize the flavor development process. CPGs would no longer have to guess what the consumer wanted, but rather create innovations guaranteed to succeed. New technologies will enable the flexibility, responsiveness, and speed to market needed in today's environment. And yet, we still have those keep doing what has worked in the past and only allocate resources to yesterday's problems. We're asking you today to invite the conversation of disruptive technologies, allocate resources to being on the bleeding edge, while keeping a pulse on emerging technologies not yet applied to our industry. One thing is certain, 10 years from now, the food industry will look, feel, and even taste different than it does today. Our job was to tickle your imaginations and look to your future worth creating. So let's look out that window, see what's coming. Thank you for your time. We'd like to open up for any further questions that you may have.